G'day, how you going? Ian Atlas here, Acrylic Guru from Australia. Welcome to my studio where I like to teach you beginners and advanced what you can paint in acrylic. See the size of the canvas and the colours are going up the screen. Beautiful tropical beach enclosed with some flowers here, or leaves or foliage. I don't know what you would call it, but it looks beautiful, it looks colourful, it looks wonderful. So get on over here and let's get wonderful things happening onto this canvas. Okay, so our horizon line right across the middle of my canvas here, and I want to thank Sketchpedia for the inspiration behind this painting today. I want to start off grabbing the soft titanium white, mixing it with some retarder just to keep it wet longer. That retarder retards down the drying time of the acrylic paint. Now I'll start with the top first. I'll get the sky done and then I can come down and do the water. All right, so I'm going to come to the tip of my brush just so I can spread that paint thin and even, getting rid of any lumps and bumps along the way. Okay, I've got phthalo blue and I want this to come down to about that low in the sky. So I'm simply going to put see how much is on my brush? My brush is loaded. I'm going to bomb it on and put it all on at the top. There we go. I'm pushing it now into my brush. Because see, I don't want any heavy accidents like that happening down here. I want it fading down here. That's why I'm doing this. There's always a reason. Now I'm going to slowly come down and just let it fade like that. Now there's a bit of a line there, so I'm going to X stroke it just to get rid of that. This is so easy, you can do it. It's fun to do things when you know what you're doing as well. Now I've got a smaller flat because I've only got a smaller area to push this in the sky there. And I simply want to come across my horizon line. Now this is quite dark turquoise, but I want to lighten it up. Get it light, get it to me horizon line there. Make sure it's going to cover. There we go. Now I can push it onto that white. And then I want to slowly bring this up into the blue. Crisscross it, pushing it up there with these X strokes, and then I want to brush all the marks out, and now I'll finish it off so it looks pleasing to the eye. Now without drying the sky, I'm simply going to pick up some titanium white. I use a fan brush to stamp on my cloud body, so I'm thinking maybe where are we? I'll get a bit of mountainish stuff there, so I'll get something just on the horizon, making a body, kind of cumulus body, not too much at the bottom, mainly at the top of it. And we're going to have leaves surrounding this as well, so don't get too carried away near the edge. That'll do for one cloud. So what I want to do is start with the bottom and just get that manipulated to how I want it. Manipulated to how I want it. I'm kind of putting the bum on it here and there, wiping the build-up off, getting this heavy bit. I might have to blend that a bit and then just drag it. Look at that. Oh yes, beautiful. Nice wet paint on the canvas there for this to happen. And now I'm simply going to get the corner of my blending brush, dance it, tap it, twist it and turmoil, creating all sorts of turmoil within that colour. Look at your brush, you've got to wipe it and simply sit this down into your beautiful vivid blue sky there. Is it vivid? Is that the colour is that the word I'm looking for? I hope it is. I'll just put something else over here. So I've cleaned my fan brush and I'm just simply going to add some more cloud here. That'll do. Boom. Look how easy they are. When you know what to do, it is doable. Okay, I'm going to just simply, let's say, push this one down into the sky a little bit. Get it down there. This to me doesn't look right dogging down there like that, so I'm going to manipulate that and turn it on that kind of vibe. There we go, see how I did that? And then the same here, getting turmoil, brighter values of the white and less brighter values of the white, twisting it. Now my clouds are looking a bit very bland. I have blended them quite a bit, so what I'll do is I do want to add a bit of yumminess to them. So this one here, I want to brighten up this part and maybe that part there. And this one here, just maybe a bit of this there and some of that up there, just that's it. And all I simply do to that yumminess, I call it yumminess because look what it does to the clouds. You sit it down and just kind of soften it back, but leaving the vibrancy of it there. And it just adds more boldness, thickness and dimension to your clouds. Just gently sit it down, blend it. Always wipe your brush as you, I'm constantly doing that. That looks pretty dotty there, I'll fix that up. Just sitting it down. There we go. That'll do. Now the sky's done and I've captured what I was wanting to capture, was this turquoise glary colour from the bottom. I wanted that because it's going to suit the vibrancy of the rest of the painting. Now to do the bottom half, I simply want to mask it up, and because I'm going to prime this in with white paint again, I do not want to get the white paint against the lip of this masking tape. So I've put a little line just below there, as you can see. I've done this in plenty of videos, just so as I can get this down lower and I can paint the white to this tape. I'll show you as I do it instead of sitting here talking about it. I'll just get on with it. Picking up this craft white again, soft titanium white, and simply get this all pushed on. Now this doesn't have as much retarder in it because I don't need to blend clouds like I did in the sky. Simply get that nice thin and even, and while it is wet, you pull that second layer of tape off. This one here, leaving the first one on. So what we do, and what we've got a gap between our horizon line tape and this white paint, because if this was right against that tape and then you paint the colour on, when you pull that off, you're going to get this white line out there, and if you don't want it, this is what you do. But if you want a white line out there, paint to it. Now I'm just rubbing my finger to get rid of that ridge of paint. That's fine. Now what I want to do, I'm just going to grab any old brush, and I've got some yellow ochre here, and now I want to get this mixed with a little bit of dioxazine purple to get me sand colour. There we go.
Oh, not too dark. Don't go too dark here, it'll dry darker, remember?
That's right, yeah, so, and I can always add some white to that, but when it goes on there, it's going to get lighter as well. I want to pick up the turquoise, and I simply want that from the tape to about here, about that low, okay? So we can bomb it on from the tape, bomb it on, and then start massage it into that white, and then just start bringing it down to there. Now what I will do is I'll come down just beyond a bit with the faded bit, meaning my paint stopped there, but see this faded bit? I'll come beyond. So I've got something to join my sand colour to. Because with the sand and the water, in my mind, what's happening, even though I'm not in Carolina, I've got the water and then the sand, and where they join, I like them to go like that. So when we put the white paint over it, you tilt it like that, which is the way the water's going to make it look, and it looks like the water's going over the sand. Now while we're at it, we'll get this paint on another putter on a brush. Luckily I've got a few of them. And I simply want to get this pushed right across there and start coming up. I'll get this mixing brush has got a lot of the paint on there, so I'll get that off there. Use this putter on a brush, there we go. And then we're going to slowly feed this up into the water. And you want them to join very pleasingly. You don't want too much of the blue into this colour and too much of this colour up into the blue. You just want it so it's going to look like the water's going over the sand or the sand's going into the water. Just before I finish, I'm just grabbing a bit more titanium white, not the craft stuff, the good stuff. Just so across the middle here I can get some white glare. I'm going to have to wipe that brush because it's got a lot of dark paint in it. Yeah, that's Now what I want to do is just sink that into the sand, so we've got that glare there. I want that there, it just looks better. I want to get the very top edge of the horizon line dark. So I'm going to pick up some more phthalo blue. We're going to put this, because that paint's wet, right against the horizon there. I'm going to go along, it's starting to wear away, so I'll turn the brush around. And then I grab the brush and then waterfy it. And those of you who don't know what waterfying means, what I do is just grab the brush and I sink it into the water like so. Now that water's still wet, you need it wet for this to happen. And we pretty much want out there just a darker vibe of it all.
Now, Ian, make sure your camera's on when you pull that masking tape off, please.
Yeah, oh, no worries, mate. What we'll do, we'll get that off. So let's have a look and see. Always got a sharp knife, get right under there like so. I'll pull that off. And you can see I don't have any white paint out there. We've got it dark, that's what I want. It's given the water this vibe when we start putting this there in a simple wave. Okay, down here I've got some turquoise again. Now I want a dark band in there, but this ain't going to cut the mustard on its own. Probably could, but I've got some Prussian blue just to give that a darker vibe. Now if you don't have Prussian blue, just find a blue and practice darkening up your turquoise. Simply grab your square, or your bullshit stick, and from about, where's our water, get it pretty level. I want it about here, coming right across to about maybe there. It's going to fade away there, the darkness. So let's just keep building that up with that darkness, getting a band of darkness there. Now I'm using my bullshit stick because it gets it nice and level and straight. It's not all iffity-affity and crooked. And I'm just going to jingle, jangle, and get that.
Let's use some big words, Ian.
Righto, incorporated onto the canvas like that. Did you like that word?
That's not too bad, boy. You're doing all right with your big words.
Okay. Now I've moved the stick, and underneath, let's just see, I want this kind of fading into the bottom. So I'll come along like so. Take your time with every painting you do, they just turn out great. Just like so. Let me look into the monitor there. Not too bad. I won't go too much though. Because the water paint, this water paint is already, I've given it a dry. So you've got to allow for that when you're doing this. I want to wash that brush and grab just the turquoise. I don't want it mixed with that. Remember I put that Prussian in with it? So I want to get some of this out here, and we're going to get a green. Let's move the bullshit stick. And we want to get a green value of this now. Get some water in there. Bit of mixing involved. Now out here, I'm just going to do it freehand. I want to get this. This is a bit of a shallower wave colour here, but putting these colours in is just beautiful. So about level with that. Fading up to that there. Coming out here. Now I'm going to get my brush and just fade that into there. There we go. I'm happy with that. Happy with that. Nice and easy does it. And we want some of this now underneath that wave. This greeny vibe. And that can fade into that turquoise underneath it a little bit. So my paint seems to be very wet. I don't know why. Maybe my brush is wet. I want to fade that into the lower half. Just let it, there we go, like that. Just scrumbling it, so to speak. And just joining that now into this darker blue colour here. So see how you can see where they're joined? You want to kind of merge that and weld them together now. Getting that up into the darker colour. Oh yeah, I like that. Now what I'm doing, I'm just Just a cheeky little movement here, grabbing some of the turquoise on my flat brush over here, and then some of the white, just so as we can weld the bottom down into the water too. I'll just show you. Now see this green, how it's sitting there and it's just went, it stopped.
How's it go, Ian?
All right, let's get into it. We've got a painting to do here. We want to kind of vibulate that together with more charisma. Or vibulization of the colours, get them vibing together. It's just another silly word I made up, I suppose. I don't know where they come from, but they just come all over the place. Now, if you like what I'm doing here, be sure to share, like and subscribe. Costs you nothing to watch the video and it costs you nothing to share, like. Say hello, tell me who you are, where you're from, and I'll say hello back to you. Now I've got two bits of white here. I want the white, but this one I want to taint it, let's say with some turquoise there. Not too much, maybe a little bit of that. Let's see if that'll do it any justice. Yeah, that'll do. So taint it with your Prussian blue if you got that, just so it's not pure white. These waves are so simple, fun and easy to do. I'm telling you right now, and I told you that for nothing. Actually, I'll use me bullshit stick because it's more appropriate for this wave. I want to come along the top. This is going to be, I'm just going to stamp it on. This is going to be about, but don't leave the blue at the top. You want to get this right past the blue. Come along in a wave manner, and then you can sort of come a bit fat. But that dark blue you got down there, don't cover that because that's going to create the depth inside the curl of your wave. All right? And we're going to come along, where's that paint? I'm going to come along and just start bringing this along. And this, see this stick, it's just allowing me to keep it in a reasonably level manner. And then this wave is going to come down, and this, where this green is, that's where it kind of ended. So you can go like that all the way along there, probably to about here, bringing it down into that greenish. Down to about there. And I want this a little bit wider here and there, not too much. I can go a bit higher actually. If you've got to make it wider, go higher, not lower, because you don't want to cover all that blue up. If you want to, pull some of that off, and I want the lightest, just coming, the slightest and the lightest. Watch what I do here. Hopefully I can do it. And see this white, or that colour there, you want a bit of that glaring into the water as well. So just gingerly get your brush contaminated and pull some of it down, and it'll look the part. It won't look floaty or wrong. And also, I want bits just gingerly crisscrossing along here. Just the light hitting the top of the water. Just want to get a bit of glare from here as well, just where the green's starting. Just something there'll do. Now we can pick up the pure white. I feel I've lost it. Anyway, give that a dry. Before we grab the pure white, taking advantage of that paint, we want to just lap some water over the sand. So you want to come onto the sand and also into the water bit, okay? So we'll just simply jingle this up and down, but keeping it in cahoots with the horizon line. Do a bit and then just simply pull it back and adding the odd little pressure mark there as well. Look in cameras, squint your eyes, get this vibe going. It's not that hard to do once you realise, oh yeah, I know how to do that. We just need this colour to put down before we get the actual white. Do a bit, scrumble it back. Pulling it back into the water. Now when you pull it back into water, see my brush, I'm brushing it with the horizon line. It's going to make the waves look flat. I've seen some people trying, dear bless their hearts, but they're kind of bringing these lines down and it makes it look a bit iffity-affity, and it's like they've gone in a helicopter to take the picture. That can be up and down, but not too aggressive. Okay, I've cleaned that brush and I'm picking up just straight titanium white now, and I want to just come along the very top of this wave and just create the look and the shape of that water now. Some bits will be thicker than others. It's going to come along here because the wave is coming, where are we? There it is. It's coming down there. So let that stay blue there and there in a roundabout way, coming along. And this is going to start coming down. I just want to have a look. Don't go too much in there. I want to have a look in that, make sure I haven't overdone that. Yeah, that's fine, just enough. Now, yeah, we pick up the pure white and just right against the very edge. Whoop, too much on my brush. This is just the actual light hitting it and bits of it out there. And just gingerly highlight it carefully. Have your phone, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Where are we? There we go. I'm looking through my phone. It's like squinting my eyes, and it just gives me a better judgment of where I need to put highlights of this or go back with darker colours. It's just a great tool to use. All right, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing there. Okay, just to finish the water, I just analysed it. Just behind this green bit here, it's a bit crooked, and I need some dark behind there as well. So there's the horizon. I want this in cahoots with the horizon. I want it just behind there, just a little bit. Get it straight and level. I can go put that white back over it, but I just want this dark. I've gone and picked up some white off the side of the board there. But there we go. Okay, we've got the sand colour down here, and I'm darkening it up with some dioxine just to get a darker value of that with my script liner, not too dark. And we just want to wiggle a shadow under that whitewash so it sits it down on top of the sand. Very easy to do. You just grab your little script liner, give it a bit of a wiggle, twist it. Now that line's starting to break, so I've got to stop. I'll wet my brush a bit more, get it a bit more inky because it's breaking up, so it needs more water in it, but not too much. Just there we go. And break it up here and there, just have a look. It'll come thin, maybe a little bit thicker out here, but get it right against your white there. And that's just sitting it down. Too easy, huh? You can do that, I'm telling you right now. Now I'm just grabbing phthalo blue, and I want a medium and a light value of it. So there's my phthalo blue. I'll just grab some of this white here. Now I'm just going to use a flat brush and then block in some distant hills on the horizon line there. You can either tape it up or leave it. Now let me just see. I'm going to rest on my stick, get this against the water. Don't go lower than the water, otherwise your horizon will look wrong again. So I've got that right against my horizon there. See how this stick's helping me do that?
That's just full of bullshit, isn't it, how straight that's happening?
I'm going to come right along where I want my hills. Out there will do. and then I'll just start making them. Nothing too big and stupid. We'll get these maybe about there like that. Block them in. And we'll get this one maybe a bit higher. Just like that. Where did I finish? About there, so come down. And block that in.
Quite windy out there today, and the wind's blowing that garden fence thing out there you got near the doorway.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I was wondering what it was. Give that a dry. I'm just looking, I want the bottom of this mountain kind of dull, white, more white added to it. So to make that more controllable, I'm just going to put some masking tape there. Just so as I can mix up a lighter value of that. So I'm grabbing some more white now. Just get it a lot more brighter, lighter and brighter, I suppose. I've dried that and I want to get very pale along here. Just let it scrumble up into that mountain, just like atmosphere. Now, years and years ago, when I was learning to paint on YouTube, there was a guy I stumbled across. I can't remember who he was, but he was full of knowledge, and he talked about the net curtain effect. Some of you might have seen him, some of you might know who I'm on about, but I don't know who his name was. But when you're looking at something in a distance, it's like you've got a net curtain over your eyes, and you put your eyes right up close to the net curtain, you can see through it. So anything up close to you, you can see the detail. But the further you pull that net curtain away from you, the more blurrier the distance, mountains, trees, or whatever they are, became. And he called it the net curtain effect, and it was made a lot of sense to me. And now I just want darker, so I'm grabbing this into that mid colour that I had there. I just want to get this mountain. Make something in front of what's there. Where are we? Come higher, and I'll just come down about there. So I'm just going to simply wipe the brush, pick up some of the lighter colour again, and start dabbing it on there. Wipe the build up off my brush, and then taper the two together. Now we'll pull this tape off and we will finish this off. But look at that, that looks all right out there, I think. Now I feel you want a nice good flat brush for this, just so as we can shape what we're going to put on there, okay? And I want maybe a leaf, palm leaf coming here. I better use my Malcolm stick, my Mal stick. I call it Malcolm. Now that's just simply going to come down. Now don't get scared, we're not ruining it. To a point, okay? And we're simply going to, let's see if we can get these points. Nice, you want a lot of sky in between them, but coming a bit fatter as we go. It's going to fan right out that way, I reckon. I'll get a nice green leaf here. So what I'm doing is I'm pretty much making a dark leaf. I don't want to destroy too much. I want to come from about maybe here. I'm just going to go skinny and then fat. Bit of a twist on it. There we go. I've created a shape, so now I'll refine that shape with this flat brush. Yeah, that's more of a tropical leaf. There we go. Looks a bit cucumberish, doesn't it, eh? A cucumber shape. Or is it a bent cucumber? It's something up here with this paint, so we'll probably come about here. That angle. Now, by all means, if you have a better way to do your leaves, do them your way. I can only show you my way. This one's going to be a little bit different to that one. So I want this to have those, let's see if I can get those sort of leaves on here, a bit of a gap. And then I'll fix the edges up off camera. I don't want to bore you with fine detailing that. And I'll get some on the other side as well. There. Oh, I don't know if this is working or not. So I'll get that this way. And his middle will be coming up there somewhere, right off the painting. So these edges, I've got to try and arch them out that way. So let's get a few out there. There we go. Got somewhere to follow now. I want to just come down here with it. Go this way then. Yeah, that's the way to go. Boom. Going to be highlighted, so I'm going to give all them a dry. I want to grab some Australian sienna and yellow ochre and just get a bit of a different colour there. I just grabbed a bit of green on that just to, where are we? Oh, that's too much. There we go. I want that colour. Just because that looks too bland there, so I'm just going to get some of this into it. Just so it's a different green. It's got a bit of depth to it. Now this yellow, cadmium yellow, I want that with some of the Viridian green. Now these two, I'll give them that yellowy green vibe. The other one I'll probably give a whiter green vibe, just so they're not all clashing. And I'm just going to scratch some of this into the leaves there, leaving the bit where they hit the stem a little bit darker. I can come back with some dark, and this is just going to add a bit of colour there. I'm just doing this main top side of this because I'm going to do a brighter one right in front of it. So I want to come from the edge. Just on the very top, coming down one side of it. Just grabbing some of this Viridian with some white, just to get a mint vibe of it going, just so I've got a different leaf out there. Look it out. This one can probably have a little bit of light just hitting the tops of these, giving them a bit more worthiness to be sitting in the painting. Just to create the rib with inside there. I just want to do a heavy leaf in this corner here. So we'll just come over about there, bang. And just block all that in with there. Just fill this corner in. This is just green oxide now. Just something la-di-da here I'm just going to do. I'm just going to have it peeking in the painting there. Alright, I want to grab some yellow into that. The green oxide, I've got cadmium yellow medium and the green oxide there. Just kind of come within it a bit, just like that. And then give him a bit of a spine. I don't want a spineless leaf in there. A bit like that. Whatever as well. I don't know what this one is, but it's a gap filler. Now I want to grab pure yellow, if I can. Just get the... Let's go here. Oh yeah. Okay, just to finish that off, to get rid of all that gappiness, I'm grabbing my Mongoose fan brush and my Viridian green, just so as I can gap fill this with mongoose grass. So watch what this does. Just sort of come out where you feel you want. Don't destroy all your beautiful water there if you can help it. So we'll get this nice and dark against the edge, and it's going to cup around. I want to get some way out there. Get some coming right up here. Front of there a little bit. Some coming way up here. Just sitting that leaf back. Some of that can come over that green yellow there, look at that. Careful not to destroy too much of your water if you can help it. Now I've given the canvas a dry and I'm picking up the cadmium yellow light and then mixing up some of the Viridian green into there so we can highlight that mongoose grass. So pretty much from the very tips down into the darkness, leaving the darkness there. Coming off the edges though. There we go, just filtering up there. 1 section, and hopefully I've saved it, because I'm pretty sure a couple of you might have been thinking, where are you going with this, Ian? Where are you going? I'm not the greatest artist, but I am a artist. That's nice and green in real life. Just getting to the edges of that, highlighting it. It's just a good gap filler, isn't it? All right, I just want to sign this, then we'll reveal it and whack a frame on it. Thank you for watching. All you Patreons and channel members of mine, thank you for your support every month. Hit the Join tab to become a YouTube channel member, and hit the Patreon tab in the link below to become a patron and support my video content there. There we go, not too shabby, is it? Got a tropical beach mountain distance scene there. Beautiful colours. I know you can do it. Beautiful, lovely painting that was. I had a lot of fun doing that. I hope you enjoyed watching the show. If you did, tell your friends. But if you don't like what I'm doing, you tell everybody. Also check out this other video of mine. Goodbye, good luck, and good on you.